everybody, Bobby here, and we'll be taking a look at the Funko Savage World Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. These are really unique figures based off of He-Man. The packaging is really retro with the way they're in the box, and it shows all the figures in this series. It's really nice. I got all those other figures coming. We'll review them another time. But for the meantime, let's crack these guys open. And with these guys open, we get to take a look at their articulation and all that good stuff. Outside of the box, well, I wasn't a big He-Man collector. That's before my time. But, these aren't bad. They're really weird, and I like weird stuff. And anything Jason and Freddy, I love. And adding weird to that just makes it better. So with Freddy here and Jason, they have this barbarian style to them, and it's really, really unique, really different, and I like it. It also, it still keeps their, original design in there, but added that barbarian style to it, and it even shows that with the accessories, and I really like that. So let's take a look at Jason. First. He's really rocking that barbarian style with the tore up clothes and the his weaponry and the loincloth and the boots. It really screams, "Oh, Jason is now in barbarian times. He's ready to make a massacre over there, and he'll take his mighty machete and wield it up in the air and yell, 'I have the power!'" I think that's what He-Man says, isn't it? Whatever. But let's just get the articulation out of the way. Before we go into design and accessories. Standard for this style figure, there's about 5 points of articulation. So his head goes all the way around, and it's kind of like a little wobbly, on mine at least, where it kind of tilts a little bit. I don't know if you could tell. And wow, look, I don't know if you could see this on the camera, but you can't. It's too bright. Hold on. I don't know if you could tell this on the camera, but if you can look. Look at that face sculpt. This isn't the best camera. This is the PlayStation camera I'm using at the moment, so maybe down the line I'll get a better camera. But if you could see all that detail they put in the mask, all the little scratch marks and cuts. It's awesome looking. So arm goes all the way around. Torso goes all the way around as well. And then the legs are on a ball joint. So Jason can do the splits, sorta. I like the ball joint. I do know that the original Masters of the Universe figures were like rubber band legs, so it kind of mimicked a ball joint in a way, sort of, from what I gathered. It's been a long time, and I've had other figures like that, like G.I. Joe's, and some Spider-Man figures are like that. So, this isn't completely out of the ballpark for me, but this is all on a ball joint, as you can see. And yes, he can be easily disassembled. And they're... Oh no, Jason's been disassembled, and... Oh no, good thing he's not alive anymore, because he can get back from that, I guess. I say it's easy to reassemble it, but really it's not that. I mean, it's all right. Also, what I gathered from the look at this. I didn't notice this, but the legs are kind of like connected together, so they kind of wiggle together. Didn't know that, but that's interesting. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Oh well, I did it. I'm sticking with it. Leg to pop back in on there. I did the same thing with Freddy earlier, and I mean, for some reason, it's a lot easier on Freddy. I don't know. Oh well. So that's the articulation. The sculpt on this guy is amazing. I mean, besides talking about the clothing on him, you can see his teeth, and this guy got a part 7 look to the mask. But it's also even got the axe damage right there, so it's like someone had actually take the axe in this universe and put it in his head. So that's cool. I'm not too keen on the design of the chevron, so I don't know why it's so long. That's just me. I like that he's got blacked out eyes, so you can't see his eyes. I think that's really cool. I like all the little scratch marks on his mask, and he's missing an ear on this side, and he's still skeletal Jason, zombie Jason, because you can see some of his spine right there, and his ribs showing up here and back here, and that's cool. Wish there was more battle damage like in his arms, but there's not. And there's a lot. I mean, you probably can't tell this, but there's some discoloration, and that could be his zombie-ish form right here on the shoulder. I guess on mine, maybe if I get a light going, you can see a lot better. But the skin tone on the shoulder matches more with the head, while the rest of the body is more of a pinkish color. I know you probably can't tell this, but I mean, maybe the light makes it worse. Maybe that's a little better. You could kind of tell. Regardless, it's a cool design. He's got like the chain wrapped around him, and that's a cool sculpt. Ripped up shirt, loincloth, the barbarian furry boots. That's cool. So with his accessories, I think it's really cool that he's got the machete and the axe. And the machete is on a bone. It's made out of bone. And so is the axe. So it's like he's making weapons out of his own victims. I like that idea that he's taking his victims and making them into weapons. And I like that idea. So they can be easily put in his hand. But here's the big gripe I have with this line, or with this, at least with this Jason. And I'm pretty sure it's the same way with the Pinhead and Michael Myers. Leatherface, he doesn't really hold accessories. His accessories, we'll get into him when we get into him. But Freddy and Leatherface, I think, would be okay with this. But Jason, Jason, oh my gosh, sorry. Jason, Michael Myers, and Pinhead, the ones that actually have to hold accessories, have this problem. And it is, their accessories are extremely loose. He cannot hold them well. He'll hold them, and they won't fall off. But, they are loose. With the axe, I can kind of cheat, because maybe I can get him in a throwing axe. So I can get him to hold it a little tighter up here and make him look like he's going to throw it or hit somebody with it by holding the bottom of it. And he holds it pretty tightly, a little more tighter when he holds the bottom of it. But with the machete, you can do that too, but it just doesn't look right. So maybe have sculpted the hands a little tighter, a little more of a grip. I think that would have been a lot better. And this might be an issue with other Masters of the Universe figures. I'm not sure, but, you know. Alright, so here's Mr. Freddy Kruger. And I love this design to a point. I like replacing the brown fedora with a brown cloth hood. I think that's a really awesome idea. I'm not a fan of this though. I get that they're going for a rip design, just like Jason, but I wish they would have kept this intact. This is I heard a lot of people hate that Freddy has this hood when they were reviewing this figure. I've been reading comments about him in videos. People don't like this hood. I actually really like it. I think it's a really cool design. What I don't like is this. I don't like them showing off his chest. I get it. It's a big muscle Freddy figure. Freddy's a scrawny guy, so I mean, I'm not too keen on that. But I don't like how they showed most of his skin on here. I think what they should have done is this could have been the sweater. Could have been little rips, little tiny rips. But it's all around his body and ripped around the arms because that's how all these are apparently. And I would have been alright with that. I was, that's cool, alright, that's good enough for me. I would have even accepted that if I would have kept this too. If they just done that. I just don't like how Freddy's got all these rips and tears into him and barely showing his shirt. I don't like that. That's just a gripe I have. It's just something I personally don't like, so. But from looking at it, this doesn't even look like a shirt. This looks like it's like fur. If you can't look. If you can look at the sculpt. It doesn't feel like it's a sweater. It's more like it's fur. So, I don't know what kind of red and green creature he killed that has this kind of fur. But the way it's sculpted, it's a fur. It's not a sweater. It's different. And I think I would have went with that design, I guess. So I'm still okay with this. It's not terrible. It's not the worst looking character in this series. So I like him. Articulation is the same with Jason. Barely go with it, you know. Swivel in the head, swivel in the arm, swivel in the torso, and ball jointed hips. Or legs. He's really good. He's got a cool sculpt, and he's got one accessory that works good with him, and that is his glove. The glove is just really cool. The way that the claws are painted silver, and it's not even the same color of Jason's weapons, I don't believe. And I think it's a little darker, and I like that. And then he's got the brown glove, and then he's got a more bronze metal plating on here, just like Freddy's glove does. But he has also got another one right here. So it's a little bit of a bigger glove, and I like that. I really like that. He's got straps coming across from him. Oh, I can't even show it. There. Straps molded in there. And a shiny gloss of a bronze kind of gold in there with weathering effects on there. It's just really cool. So there is no sculpt in the inside. Obviously, this isn't an alternate hand like you would see in NECA figures. It's just like a regular classic figure you would see in that series. It just clips onto it. Just you know, sticks in there. It looks good with it. I mean, you can't really get a good angle with him. It's gotta be on this side. But I mean, you can kinda with this do this. You can fake it because it can move around. So, I mean, with the right camera angle and the right position, you make it look good. So Freddy does look good. I like going back to the design, he's got the brown loincloth, which is cool. He's got the barbarian furry boots, which I think would have worked better on Jason. I mean, I like it on Freddy, don't get me wrong, and I think it should stay with Freddy. But I think if they would have incorporated the brown boots to Jason, and maybe give him the design of the ripped pants, I think that would have fit with Jason. But I think what they were going with Jason is a more He-Man look to him, and that's alright. So, bringing Jason back in here, I like both of these figures, but it's time that we rate them. So, we're just going to get Jason here. I'm going to give Jason a 7 out of 10. He's got an awesome sculpt. He's got standard articulation, which I'm not going to fault it for this kind of figure. But what brings it down for me is the way his weapons, they just don't, he doesn't hold them good. And that's just something that I just don't like. So 7 out of 10. Sorry, Jason. And for Freddy, I give Freddy an 8 out of 10. Great sculpt, great accessories, unique design. I really like him. He's my favorite so far. I can't wait to get Leatherface and Michael Myers and Pinhead. But so far, Freddy is my favorite. Alright guys, well, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bobby out.